And now joining us are two key members from this year's team, Beau Hossler and Ghim. Guys, what is it like to play for a school like Texas, where the expectations are for every group of golfers, it seemed like after Jordan Spieth, is this guy the next Spieth? Is this guy the next Spieth? What's it like to play with that kind of shadow over you?
I wouldn't consider it much of a shadow. Certainly he's set a high bar for us to live up to, but at the same time, it's a great standard for us to strive for. But at the same time, we're all looking to play our best individually in an effort to help the team. And obviously, if those comparisons are going to come if you play really well, because he's obviously an outstanding player. So any kind of comparisons are welcome for me, at least.
Yeah, it's crazy to be here at a university like Texas, but when you sign that letter of intent and know that you're going to be wearing burnt orange for 4 years and competing at one of the best athletic programs in the world, you kind of expect that. You have expectations for yourself when you come here, and to know that everyone here is expecting you to perform, it's a lot of fun.
You're the #1 team in the nation, so you know what comes with it. Last year, you all went to the NCAA championships and finished in 5th. As you get ready for this year's NCAA championships, what do you take away from last year's experience? What lesson did you learn, Beau?
More than anything, you kind of learn that there are certain turning points in a championship like that, and really in any sport. There are certain points where you really need to seize opportunities, and unfortunately, we just didn't do that last year. I think that we had a team that could have won the national championship had we take advantage of those opportunities, but I'm certainly really happy with where we're at right now. Obviously, we have a lot of momentum coming into the final tournament, so I think it's a great, like you said, we certainly learned from some of the mistakes we made, maybe in our preparation or even just the execution last year, and I think it's going to be great this year.
Doug, I see you nodding your head in agreement. It seems like you've learned from last year's. 5th is a heck of a finish, but I can tell by your reaction you're looking for a little bit more this year.
Yeah, last year, my freshman year, we were pretty excited about the NCAAs going in. It's just as similarly to this year, we had won a couple of tournaments coming in, felt like we had a good chance, and to lose in the quarterfinals last year was pretty bitter. But like Beau said, we all have learned a lot. I feel like our games have progressed pretty well, and to be in the same situation again, I think we're ready this time. I think we're ready to go.
Just about a week away. Beau, I have to ask you, when you get guys like PGA golfer Justin Thomas tweeting, "I've never seen anybody win as many tournaments as you do," how do you keep that from getting to your head?
Well, there's a long way to go. Certainly, I felt like this year I've had kind of a breakout year in the college scene, but at the same time, there's a lot of work to be done for me to do things even beyond what I've done. I've kind of had a little bit of a slower finish to the spring. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have recognition, but those are guys that we've grown up with. Doug and I have played with since we were 12 or 13 years old. So even though, the average golf fan or average sports fan thinks, they're way up on this pedestal, to us, they're just kind of still buddies. So we kind of mess around on Twitter and whatnot. And it's certainly nice to have recognition, but at the same time, there's such a long way to go for me personally, and also I would assume for every other guy on the team feels the same way.
Doug, you had an interesting experience growing up. You only played 1 year of high school golf your freshman year?
Yes.
How did that work?
Well, Illinois State high school rules are a little bit different. During the high school season, you're not allowed to play any other national events, and when I was a sophomore in high school, I was given an opportunity to play the bigger AJGA invitationals, and it was a difficult decision for me, knowing how much my high school was depending on me to compete at state championships. But I just felt like it was opportunity that I needed to take, and I felt that if I didn't take that opportunity, I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you today.
And I read where you said you didn't have the nicest clubs growing up, didn't have the nicest clothes, and you only got your golf balls. You said you and your dad the only way you would get golf balls was by fishing them out of the water. Tell me about that experience growing up and what that presented to you as a young kid.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about just where we came from, where my dad and I started from, but to be here at the University of Texas and to be able to open a box of new golf balls whenever I want to, it's pretty cool. My dad and I recognize how cool of a ride it's been the last couple of years, and we just keep trying to progress and hopefully we win that national championship this year.
I was going to say the ride's not over yet. We're pulling for you both. Thank you, Beau and Doug. The NCAA championships get underway in a little over a week in Eugene, Oregon. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.